Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, and I have a special video for you today. Today we have the Eric the Car Guy with the first of the Eric the Car Guy tool review videos. Before me, I have the AC Delco half-inch electric impact gun, I should say. And its model number is the ARI2023. It has 280 foot-pounds of torque, 650 Newton meters is what that also is. It has a no-load speed of 0 to 2,000 RPM. It has a impact per minute of 0 to 2,600. It weighs approximately 6.93 pounds or 3.15 kilograms. I think we should start with a classic unboxing. Okay, so here's the box it comes in. Aside from a little bit of cardboard covering around the outside and a zip tie that normally goes here that you have to cut open, this is pretty much as you find it. Now, opening up the box, we have the gun itself, a recharger, and a spare battery, some instructions. It looks like this is set up to put a set of sockets in it, so that if you had a set of sockets that you normally use for, like, say, taking off wheels, and normally that's what I use a half-inch gun for, you could store them in here. It looks like you've got 5 different slots for that. The charger doesn't look that heavy, but I got to tell you, I took one of the batteries yesterday and charged it up. And these 3 LEDs are sort of confusing to me. I mean, it says right here how they're all used and how they're all set up, but when I used this yesterday, I wasn't sure whether it was charging. I mean, some of these lights flash. It's a little confusing as far as that part goes. So this is what you get when you first plug it in. And then the battery slides into the tray here. Up like this. And these 2 flashing lights means it's charging, apparently. And when it's charged, the yellow light flashes, but the green light stays on. If the temperature is a problem, then if either it's high or low, everything flashes. When it's a bad battery, the red and yellow flash. Just the solid red is in standby mode. So it seems a bit confusing to me, but gets the job done. As I said, it came with a spare battery, and here's the unit itself. In addition to that, what I also found interesting is it comes with another set of brushes that are easily replaceable that we'll cover in a moment here, but you've got those as well. So here's the battery. It's got a pretty good weight distribution to it. I mean, that's something you've got to think about with an impact gun, is just how heavy it is and how much strain it's going to put on your wrist as you use it. But this doesn't seem top heavy, and actually it seems fairly well balanced with this battery pack in it. That's one thing with electric tools like this, is that you do have this large battery and the weight that goes with it that you have to deal with. In addition to that, it's got a variable speed trigger, so you can start out at a slow speed all the way up to the higher speeds, and there's a little LED light here that comes on as you use it. Pretty cool. So why don't we see how well it works at taking off lug nuts. As I said, I charged the battery, so we've got a fresh battery in this thing. So let's get a look at it and see what it does in action. All right, let's test out what this thing was made to do. I have the front wheel of the Subaru here. It slides on just like it would on a new impact there, and comes off fairly easy. This little ring is what holds the socket on, and it seems to go on and stay on, so that's a good thing. Let's see how it does with this wheel. Works pretty good. Let's see how it is when we go to put it back on. Actually, I have another thought. Lug nuts are pretty easy. Now, axle nuts, they may be a little bit more tricky. Let's see if it can get this axle nut off. One of my concerns is coming true, because I'm having some difficulty getting this socket on here. There we go. In all fairness, that's a new axle and a new axle nut, so I'm not sure how good a judge this is. If If we had an older, rustier axle and everything else, it might be a better indication, but it did take this axle nut off with no problems. As far as the force of it putting it back in the same place, it looks like this the gun got it right back in the same place it was before I started. Now, I am having some trouble getting this socket off of here. I think part of that reason is, as you might be able to see here, there's a little rubber grommet underneath the clip. Looks like it's either starting to come loose or come out. Something right there, that little piece of rubber, seems to be making it difficult to get sockets on and off, and that can make the tool, well, somewhat inconvenient to use. That may also have something to do with my socket, in all fairness. Couple of other features that I'll point out while I'm here. It does have a charge indicator down here. It tells you how charged the battery is, and there's a low battery indicator, which is kind of nice. This is how you change direction. Just push this switch from one side to the other, and that allows the tool to change direction. Like I said, it feels good. It's made out of some sort of, I don't know, it's rubberized. It's got a nice grip to it. It feels like it'll stay in your hand. I've already got it a little bit dirty, and you can see that yes, it may present some issues as far as keeping the tool clean, but me, I want my tools to work. I don't care how clean they are necessarily. But the weight feels good, and it does what it's supposed to do. My only concern with electric tools like this is that, you know, your battery gets low and you start to lose your torque. It's nice that they give you 2 batteries in the kit, but it did say something about you need to let the unit cool down for a bit before you install a new battery and go back to work. So you may have to change your working habits in using an electric tool like this. But one thing that's really nice is not being tethered to an air hose. Me personally, I've always hated my air hose. We've always had just different issues. And it seems like whenever I walk by my air hose, it wants to just sort of get in there and trip me and send me to the floor. I'm not really sure why that is, but having an electric tool like this eliminates that possibility. You don't need to worry about it. Everything you need is right here. So my only concerns is over time, yeah, the battery will wear down, but at the same time, your air pressure can get low also. So that's something you deal with either tool. But this one, you don't have to worry about being tethered to an air hose. Let's take a quick look at one of the main features of this tool, aside from the fact that it's an electric impact. They basically make it so that you could easily change the brushes out. And to remove the battery, you just squeeze these. There's 2 of these on either side. You can slide the battery out the back, and you're disconnected. And if you're gonna mess with the brushes, of course you wanna remove the power source. But it looks like you just take a flathead screwdriver, remove this plug in the back here, and voila, you have, there we go. Takes a bit of doing, but you can pull the brush right out the side there, which is darn convenient because these brushes will eventually wear out, and it's nice that they gave you a spare set. It's just a matter of pushing it back down in, tightening up the screw. Looks like I got a little cross-threaded there. Looks like it's easy to get cross-threaded. Looks like every time I've tried to turn this in, I managed to get it cross-threaded. I think I might have got it that time. Yep. Slide the battery pack in. We're back in business. The AC Delco ARI2023 is not a bad tool, and it does what it says it's supposed to do. Now, I'd have to use it over a long period of time to try to figure out how it holds up over time, but so far it seems all right. A bit of difficulty getting those caps on and off of the brushes, but the fact that I can change them out so easily is kind of nice, because as I said, they eventually will wear out the more you use the tool. The interface for the charger seems a bit confusing, but I suppose that's something you could get used to. But all in all, it seems like a decent value for a tool. Out of 5, I would probably give it somewhere around a 3.5 as far as how it feels and how it operates and that type of thing. I mean, it has a solid feel to it, but it's just not quite there. It still feels like there's some, for lack of a better word, cheapness here, but that is the world that we are in today. All in all, I don't see it as a bad tool. 1/2-inch impact, not having to deal with your air hose. It's really great. It saves you the expense of having to buy a compressor and air hose and everything that goes along with that, all the couplers and everything else if you're going to choose pneumatic tools. So this is a great, I think, addition to a DIYer's toolbox, because, you know, if you're in the driveway or something, or you could even throw it in the trunk of your car and make changing out the spare tire, if you ever ran into a situation like that much easier. So there are many uses for this tool, and I think all in all it would be a good tool to have. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this first tool review from Eric the Car Guy. I, of course, am Eric the Car Guy. You can always find me at EricTheCarGuy.com. In fact, you can also find this tool there. There will be a link in the description to it so that you can check it out for yourself and perhaps purchase one of your own. In addition to that, hey, if you have automotive questions, head over to EricTheCarGuy.com. You know what? There's a welcome video there that will tell you all about the wonderful features we have there that can help you solve your automotive issues. So feel free to head over there and check that out. In addition, I can be found at Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, and I close each of my videos with, be safe, have fun, and of course, stay dirty, and play with your tools.